Welcome back to KAMMA. I'm Khalil Deal,
Andy O.
and we are KAMMA about to talk about the early predictions here for the prelims for UFC Fight Night. This is going to be looks like a pretty decent event here. Not too bad, not too bad. So we're going to go through the card real quickly here with the prelims. The first match, we got JJ Aldrich versus Veronica Hardy. Then Jared Gooden versus Kevin Jousset. Jake Hadley versus Charles Johnson. Trey Waters against Billy Goff. Tabitha Ricci against Tisha Torres. Terrence McKinney against Esteban Ribovics. And then the main event of the prelims, Chase Hooper against Vyacheslav Borshev. All right, so this is a UFC Fight Night. Can't wait to get into this one to see what you guys what you have, who we're picking here, Andy O, man. I know that this one's going to be pretty interesting. Derek Lewis versus Rodrigo Nascimento, the main event of this fight night. I hope that me and you have some fights that we agree on here. So we'll start it off with the first fight of the prelims: JJ Aldrich versus Veronica Hardy. Who you got, Andy O?
Yeah, so looking forward to this card as always. Here I have a Veronica Hardy. In this case, I don't have much faith in JJ Aldrich. I think Veronica Hardy is really up on on the upswing. She had that long break, but since she's come back under the tutelage of her husband Dan Hardy, she's looked really good. She looks like she's improving every fight. I think she's going to be a lot faster than Aldrich. She hops around and bounces around really nicely and also knows how to blend in the takedowns, you know? And yeah, I think she's just on a run here, and I don't see JJ Aldrich stopping her. And just because she knocked out Nan last time, doesn't mean she's going to get a knockout here. It was Na Liang, sorry, right? Na Liang, she knocked out Na Liang. She did beat Montala de La Rosa in a decision. I see this one going to decision as well, but I think she's on too much of an upswing, Veronica Hardy here. So that's my pick. But it is a woman's fight. How confident can you be, right?
Yeah, man, this one's going to be pretty even. It's going to be pretty close, I believe. Both fighters are close in age, 28 years old for Veronica Hardy, 31 for JJ Aldrich. They're both three. They both got 3 wins out of their last 5 fights. So both of them have lost 2 out of their last 5. And yeah, man, this one here, I'm gonna go with JJ Aldrich. Now, I'm not a fan of JJ Aldrich. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm not a big fan of her. But Veronica Hardy, man, I don't. The reason why I'm not going for Veronica Hardy is because she hasn't fought anybody in the UFC really that's like of any kind of a name. JJ Aldrich, even though she's not the greatest, man, she has fought a lot of very, very good fighters. I think this is a step up in competition for Veronica Hardy. JJ Aldrich is an all-round fighter. She's good on the feet. She's got good striking, good boxing. She can take down. She can get takedowns if she needs to. On the ground, she's not terrible. She does find a way to get out of submission. She finds a way to get back up when she gets taken down. So it won't be easy for Veronica Hardy to sub her. And again, JJ Aldrich, man, the win against Montana De La Rosa, a very good fighter, Montana De La Rosa. She's pretty good. She won by decision there in her last fight. She also beat Na Liang, but Na Liang, I mean, she's not that great. We saw her fight just not too long ago, but she did knock out Na Liang. She fought Ariana Lipski, lost in a unanimous decision, but still made it all the way through against Ariana Lipski, who's also very, very good. Erin Blanchfield, another really good grappler, really good good fighter on the ground, and she got subbed in the second round by guillotine. But Erin Blanchfield, another top fighter. Jillian Robertson, she beat by decision. She beat Vanessa Demopoulos. So she's fought a lot. Macy Barber, Polyana Viana. So she's fought a lot of fights in the UFC. She's got more experience, I find, 13-6 Veronica Hardy's 8-4, lost half of her fights. Veronica Hardy, who she really fought though in the UFC? She's fought Jamie Lynn Horth. I mean, I don't even think she's still in the UFC, and she only won by split decision against Jamie Lynn Horth. She fought Juliana Miller, who's absolutely garbage. She beat her by decision in the third round. She lost to Bia Malecki, who's really a nobody either, right
Yeah,
there.
but you're talking about fights like 7 years ago now.
Well, we're going to 2020 here. Bia Malecki, she lost in 2020. She fought Juliana Miller in 2023 and
Oh,
Jamie Horth in 2023, where she got those two wins. But I mean, those two wins were against very low level fighters. She did beat Polyana Viana, but she lost to Jillian Robertson, whom JJ Aldrich beat. She lost to Andrea Lee. She lost to Ashley Evans Smith, so she was like on a losing streak for quite a while there. When she made her first UFC debut against Ashley Evans Smith, Veronica Hardy, she lost. She lost to Andrea Lee right after, lost to Jillian Robertson. Then she beat Polyana Viana. Then she lost to Bia Malecki. So you know what, man? I just have more confidence in the experience of JJ Aldrich. And I just think JJ Aldrich can come through and get the win here over Veronica Hardy. I'm giving her one last chance to prove it to me that she could beat Veronica. If she loses to Veronica Hardy, I am done with JJ Aldrich forever. Like, I will fade her from now on. If she can't beat Veronica Hardy, then she's definitely done in the UFC. So my pick is JJ Aldrich to win by decision here. What's the form of winning for you for Veronica Hardy?
yeah, without a doubt, decision. I don't
A
think these
decision.
ladies are going to be finishing each other.
Exactly, yeah. So this one's for sure going to the decision. All right, so moving on up the card to the next fight, we have here Jared Gooden versus Kevin Jousset. So for this one, I mean, Jared Gooden is a very good fighter, man. This guy's very athletic. He's big. He's strong. He is going to have a 2-inch reach advantage over Kevin Jousset. He is 30 years old, a year younger. He's a pretty good athlete. He's got some wrestling. He's decent on the feet. But Kevin Jousset is really an elite fighter on the feet. Like, this guy's coming out of City Kickboxing, very good striker. He's got very good kicks. He's won 5 out of his last 5 fights, whereas Jared Gooden lost 2 out of his last 5. Kevin Jousset is the pick for me. I got to go with Kevin Jousset. I think he's going to be just better on the feet, the more technical striker, the more precise striker. He's got very good leg kicks. And Jared Gooden is not going to have an easy time trying to take him down if he tries to use the wrestling. I mean, you'll see that Kevin Jousset is 2 inches taller. And Kevin Jousset is a really good striker. And I think that he can even pull off a knockout on Jared Gooden. We've seen Jared Gooden get hurt in the past. I'm going with Kevin Jousset in this one. Who you got, Andy?
Yeah, me, as much as I wanted to stay away from picking Jousset and liking Jousset, I'm gonna have to pick Jousset here. Uh, he's one of, those French guys with a very boring style, but he does know how to strike. He also leaves his chin out there in the L with his very straight stance, but he makes it work for him. And I think as long as he stays away from the power of Jared Gooden here, he should be okay. He should be actually alive for a knockout, in my opinion, later into the fight. But it's probably going to wind up at decision. This guy can go like 20 rounds doing what he does and not like really get tired at all, right? So it's really a matter of him playing, being smart, staying as technical as he is, and I think this should be a win for him as well. So we agree on that one.
Yeah, Jared Gooden. I mean, he looked okay against Wellington Turman. He did sub him in the second round in his last fight for Jared Gooden, but he did lose to Carlston Harris in his first fight in the UFC. And that was back in March of last year. He lost by decision to Carlston Harris. Didn't look that good in that fight. He lost by unanimous decision. And Wellington Turman is not the greatest, not the greatest fighter, and he was able to beat him by submission in the second round, but wasn't looking too good in the first round of that fight. Turman was actually doing pretty decent in that fight and landing some shots on him. Whereas Kevin Jousset, in his UFC debut, he got the win over Kiefer Crosby by sub. He rear naked choke in the first round, and he beat Kenan Song also by unanimous decision. Kenan Song is really good as well, a much better opponent than who Jared Gooden faced. So I got to go with Kevin Jousset here. I just think he's going to be the better fighter. I think he'll be able to keep this fight on the feet. I think he'll be able to keep a distance and be able to land some decent strikes and get the win here.
And also, I think he's going to be able to keep you half asleep.
Yeah, he has a boring, definitely a boring style of fighting, but hey, it works for him, man. And
Yeah, you know, he's getting the wins. He's there to get the wins, right? So,
exactly, he's there to get the wins. And like again, like I said, he's just I just feel he's a much better striker than Jared Gooden. All right, we're gonna move on up the card to the next fight now. We got
yeah.
here Jake Hadley against Charles Johnson. Who you got, Antonio?
Yeah, so this one here, put some thought into this one, and I think Charles Johnson is actually going to get a fight more up his alley here. So I'm going to go with the underdog Charles Johnson to get the decision win at home. This is in St. Louis, so he's fighting at home. It should motivate him to maybe have the best fight of his career. This is such a hard guy to like, Charles Johnson, because he's pretty skilled and he has the gas tank basically to outlast anyone, right? And he's also as tough as nails. This fight here, while Jake Hadley can take guys down, I don't think that's going to be the first thing on his mind. The way we've seen Charles Johnson just face grappler after grappler after grappler the past several fights, you know? And I think he's going to get more of a stand-up fight in this fight here. It's just that will he keep his volume up? Will he show that killer instinct when he has the guy tired? All I know, this fight is going to be very, very close. Um, but I think Charles Johnson is unless he just doesn't know what to do because he's so used to stopping like 15 takedown attempts against a fight. Uh, I think he should really squeak out a victory here. So the pick is for the home guy, Charles Johnson, to pull it off.
Yeah, I was going back and forth on this one. I do want to say though that Jake Hadley is very, very tough and very dangerous with his submissions. Jake Hadley is pretty good.
Yeah, but
But
no one finishes Charles Johnson. Don't forget, he's never been finished.
that is true. Charles Johnson is very, very durable. He was fighting for his life in his last fight for his job actually because he was on a 3-fight losing skid there
Yes.
against Odie Osborne, Cody Durden,
Hmm.
and Rafael Estevan, and then he got the win over Azak Maksum in his last fight. I'm gonna pick Charles Johnson. Not the greatest confidence in this one. I do have to say that he is a good dog. Jake Hadley, though, is very dangerous and could pose a threat to Charles Johnson. I do like the height advantage here on Charles Johnson. I think he'll be the bigger fighter in this one. Jake Hadley, though, he does have 3 knockouts, 5 submissions, 2 decisions. So he does have some submissions. He did lose to Cody Durden in his last fight, Jake Hadley. And the fight before that, he knocked out Malcolm Gordon. He also subbed Carlos Candelario.
The legendary Malcolm Gordon.
Yeah, you're one of
Yeah.
your favorites there. He did lose to Alan Nascimento the fight before that in his UFC debut. So he's 2 for 2 since he's been in the UFC. Whereas Charles Johnson, yes, we know he had that 3-fight losing skid there. But prior to that, he beat Jimmy Flick. He beat Zalgas Zumagulov. He beat Carlos Mota. He lost his UFC debut against Mohamed Mokayev. That's not a bad loss, and he managed to stay in there and last against a really amazing submission specialist in Mohamed Mokayev, and he actually went all 3 rounds to a decision loss there. So if Mokayev couldn't finish him, there's no way Jake Hadley is finishing this guy. And again, most of his losses have come by decision. Okay, he has not been, like you said, Andy O, he has not been
All of his
knocked out.
losses.
All of
All of
his losses, sorry, all of his losses have been by decision. He's never lost by knockout or submission. And if Jake Hadley can't finish him, I think Charles Johnson is going to be able to get the win here. I think he'll be better on the feet. I think also that Charles Johnson will be able to stuff the takedowns. He's very good at takedown defense. His takedown defense is very, very good. And I think that Charles Johnson can also do some wrestling of his own and get Jake Hadley on the ground. And we haven't seen really how Jake Hadley looks when he's on his back. So I think Charles Johnson get on top of him, be the heavier guy, maybe control him on the ground as well, get some ground and pound in there. Charles Johnson's very good at wrestling and grappling as well. Like I said, he's like you said earlier too. He's fought against a lot of grapplers, a lot of guys that have good submission skills, good grappling, and good wrestling, and he's been able to hang in there. So, like you said, he's fighting at home in St. Louis. I'm gonna go with Charles Johnson in this one, man. Not very confident, but we agree on this one here.
Okay.
All
So
right,
next up we got Trey Waters against Billy Goff. Who you got, my man here?
is it your turn?
No, it's yours.
Okay, so this one here, I gotta go with the giant. I gotta go with the giant, man. I gotta go with Trey Waters, man. This guy is 6'5", okay, facing off against Billy Goff, who's my height at 5'10". Bro, we're talking a 6-inch height difference there, okay? Billy Goff's a guy that likes to come at you forward. He likes to get inside and try to get those uppercuts and punches from the inside. He likes to try to take guys down, but I don't think he's going to have any success against this tall Trey Waters. Trey Waters is just going to be too hard for him to take down. And again, I've always said it, when you're punching upwards instead of punching straight, and you're punching upwards, it's harder to hit your opponent in the face when you're punching in an upwards angle. I mean, 6'6", we're talking 6 inches difference here. That's a lot. And he's also going to have a 5-inch, a 4.5-inch reach advantage for Trey Waters. We'll say 5 inches. I mean, all Trey Waters has to do is to stay away, keep this fight at a distance. Billy Goff likes to come in. That's the way he fights. He comes at you forward, comes at you forward. Trey Waters can stay at a distance, hit him with the jab, 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 stay at a distance, leg kicks, jab, 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 and those jabs will hurt when Billy Goff is coming forward at him. I think Trey Waters is a good matchup for him to get the win here. He's won 4 out of his last 5. 29 years old. Like I said, the height and reach advantage. The guy's a fucking tough dude. Really, really strong guy too. I got to go with Trey Waters here to beat Billy Goff. Who you got?
My pick is going to be Billy Goff.
Ah, God.
I think Billy Goff is a dog here. I think he will show his toughness compared to a guy like Trey Waters. I think what he has to do is he has to go beyond that length reach that Trey Waters loves. And once he's in that range, while it may be punching high, may be harder to do against, against someone with that type of height advantage. But I'm telling you, man, what's going to happen in this fight is those rips to the body. I think Billy Goff may even take a couple shots himself, going through harm's way, going through the fire. But Billy Goff is like, he's still with it. He's like still in the prime of his career where he still can afford to take some shots. And if he survives, I think he's going to give Trey Waters lots of problems in there. I think at some point the shots to the midsection are really going to work for him. And if it goes down there, man, Billy Goff is an animal and is probably going to get the ground and pound. Now, it's risky. It's a risky call because it's all if he can get in there without taking too much damage, right? I think he will. I think Billy Goff is a great dog here. And one thing's for certain, I'd like to have a dog like Billy Goff fighting for my money, man, in there. And I know I'm going to get that with Billy Goff. So I'm going with the dog here. Billy Goff, we disagree.
I am going to agree that he is a good dog, though. I will agree that he is a good dog. But I mean, he did beat in his UFC debut Yusaku Kinoshita, who was really not looking that great when he fought him. And again, he was a 6'3" guy. He also was only 6 foot. Now he's facing a guy who's going to be way, way taller and bigger than him, man. So we'll have to see how he does with that height advantage for Trey Waters. Trey Waters fought a guy about the size of Billy Goff. He fought, well, maybe a little shorter than Billy Goff. He fought Josh Quinlan, who was also supposed to be an amazing prospect. And he was 6 foot. Actually, he's a little taller than Billy Goff. Josh Quinlan was supposed to be this crazy prospect.
Not really.
Well, I mean, when he first came into the UFC, we thought, the hype was on him about being this really crazy finisher. He had nothing but finishes. He was supposed to go in there and be this big killer, and Trey Waters was able to beat him. Trey Waters beat him by unanimous decision, and it was a very good fight there. I don't see Billy Goff being any more of a threat than Josh Quinlan. I think Trey Waters would be able to beat this guy as long as he fights smart, doesn't get taken down, stays at a distance, uses that height and reach advantage to piece him up, jab him, punch him, get him with some hard punches, some leg kicks, and keep him away from getting in close. That's the key to victory for Trey Waters. I'm going to go with Trey Waters. I got to go with the beast, man. Got to go with the beast in this one. But I have to say that you're right, though. Billy Goff is a good dog. All right. Moving on up the card to the next fight in the prelims. We got the ladies, Tabitha Ricci against Tisha Torres, or Tisha Pennington, now that she's married to Raquel Pennington. Just recently had a baby too. Who you got there, Andy O, on this one?
Yeah, here I got to go with Tabitha Ricci. This is another very, very close fight, but I'm not going to go with the one that missed 3 or 4 years and just had a baby and all of that stuff. I'm going to go with the more active fighter, the fighter that has more of the ground game in Tabitha Ricci. And I know it's going to be tough and I know it's going to be close, but I think Tabitha Ricci is like on the upswing in her career. She's going to be facing someone, pretty small like her. And I think she's going to be stronger than Tisha Torres in this case. And that could help her, get some ground control. In this fight, what could probably like be the difference between the win and the loss is if they count some ground control like more than they count strikes, especially strikes that don't really hurt that much. Because Tabitha Ricci has a chance of getting more ground control than Tisha Torres, I think. Either way, I think this is going to be a very close fight that goes to decision. I'm going with the more active fighter.
Same here. I got I got Tabitha Ricci in this one. Tisha Torres, again, uh, hasn't fought in a long time. We're talking since April of 2022. We're talking literally 2 years ago, like a little over 2 years ago. She has not fought. And her last fight, she lost to Mackenzie Dern, she lost by split decision. Mackenzie Dern, a lot like Tabitha Ricci, very good on the ground, very good grappling, very good wrestling. And Mackenzie Dern, I didn't even find that to be that great anymore. I think Tabitha Ricci's got this one. The younger fighter, she's 29 years old. To Tisha Torres, 34. Again, Tisha Torres coming off the long layoff, having the baby and stuff like that. I think Tabitha Ricci is going to be able to take her down, stay on top, get some good ground and pound, and she's a good submission threat as well here. Tabitha Ricci has some very good subs, good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She got 3 submissions and 5 decisions. So I got Tabitha Ricci getting the win here. All right, we're going to move on up the card here to the next fight, Terrence McKinney against Esteban Ribovics. I got Terrence McKinney in this one. I'm going to leave this one short and sweet. Terrence McKinney is a killer. This guy we forgot how crazy this guy is. He had a couple losses, and then people started counting him out. Then he came back and showed everybody who he is. And he came back and got his last 2 wins there. Esteban Ribovics hasn't really fought many people in the UFC. I got to go with the guy who's got more experience, the killer in Terrence McKinney. I think he's going to be able to get a knockout or a sub on Esteban Ribovics in this one.
Yeah, this is a super close fight to call. It can go either way. Basically, the thought behind it is McKinney early and Ribovic late, or at least later than, I guess, 1 round because he gasses out like nuts, right? Thing also here is that is Ribovic better than like a Marat or a Breeden, an Eric Gonzalez, or because these are the types of people that he's beating, but he's losing to Nazim Sadikov. He's losing to Ismail Bonfim. No shame in that. He's losing to Drew Dober. No shame in that. And these are all early finishes as well, for the most part, right? Like early second round or first round finishes. So not only does he finish people right away, but he gets finished right away. Look, I'm going to be leaning Ribovic because I don't think he's all that great, but I think he's tough and he can survive the McKinney onslaught enough to get him a win somehow and put McKinney away once McKinney gasses out completely, which should be early second
So
round.
you got Esteban in this one.
I got Esteban
We
this
disagree in
one,
this one. I mean, he
but
lost.
believe me, it was a tough pick, man. This could go either way to me. This is just one of those. I'm gonna go with the favorite in
I
it.
just can't go for a guy who just fought twice in the UFC, lost to Loic Razabov in his UFC debut, beat Kemuela Kirk by unanimous decision. I didn't find that to be that great. Terrence McKinney has fought way better fighters. Brendan
Yeah, but he
Roth,
never
Mike
beat
Breeden,
anybody good. He
Nazim
never.
Sadikov, Ismail Bonfim, Eric Gonzalez, Drew
Yeah,
Dober,
but he lost.
Fares
He lost to all of those
No, he
guys.
did not. He beat Matt Frevola. He beat Matt Frevola in his UFC debut. He beat Fares Zian. He beat Eric Gonzalez. He beat Mike Breeden and Brandon Marat. He only lost to Sadikov and Bonfim and Drew Dober, like top-notch guys. Anyways, I got to go with Terrence McKinney. I think he's just the better fighter, and he's going to be crazy out there. He's got submission skills. He's got knockout power. He's more athletic. I got to go with this dude. All right, moving on. Anyways, we disagree on this one, but we'll see how this goes. Last fight of the prelims here, Chase Hooper against Vyacheslav Borshev. I'm picking Vyacheslav Borshev in this one. I do not have faith in Chase Hooper getting him down. I think Borshev is going to be able to stay on the feet and not get taken down by Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper is a submission guy. He's a guy that likes to grapple. Borshev is a very good, amazing striker. I just don't see Chase Hooper having an easy time with Borshev, and I don't think he'll be able to take him down very easily. I think he's going to have a hard time taking him down, and for that reason, I got to go with Vyacheslav Borshev to get the win. I think he'll knock out and find the chin on Chase Hooper.
Yeah, these two last fights just really very hard to call. If Chase Hooper gets him down, chances are it's going to be very tough going for Borshev. Although he has fended off a lot of opposition down there. You know, he gets taken down with ease, but fights his way back up. You know, the guy doesn't give up. But Chase Hooper is on another level of dangerous as to who he's fought so far. On the other hand, his striking is just leagues above Chase Hooper. And Chase Hooper's striking could be kind of like, it's not good, but it's not terrible, right? So if Santa Claus catches him early enough, hurts him, this could lead to the demise of Chase Hooper. And if Hooper gets his hands on him and doesn't let him go, he could be the first one to put away Borshev in such a fashion. But in this one also, I think I'm leaning towards ever so slightly Borshev to get the striking going against Chase Hooper. Considering who he's been knocked out before in the past, Borshev is the best striker he's going to be coming up against, so that's going to be the pick for me.
All right, so we disagreed on a couple. Yeah, Chase Hooper. I gotta say though, he is a good dog. We will definitely say that he's got the. He's gonna have a 2-inch reach height advantage. Also, a 4-inch, 5-inch reach advantage as well. So that's something to look out for. He is a good dog, but yeah, that's it for our predictions, early predictions for the prelims. We'll see you guys next for the main card, early predictions. And like and subscribe. Hope you like the video. Hope you like the predictions. Peace out, folks.